Baton Rouge Capital Region. My name is Chancellor Zero Skidmore. My producer is Jeremy Porcine, and this week, Jonathan Grimes is my musical director. Thank you all so much for tuning in via the radio or Apple Podcasts. And if you haven't subscribed on Apple Podcasts, there's no time like the present. Also, if you have not given us those 5 stars, no time like the present. I want to thank you all for all of your support. And today, I just want to talk a little bit about dreams. I talked to some artists recently about if it's important for an artist to move out of a smaller town into a big city to have financial success. It was a great conversation that I had on Facebook with CJ Trustclair and some other guys, Ian Vaughn, both of them who've been on the show. There were a lot of people saying that they think you do have to leave a small town because, you know, they were talking about people with small town mentalities, jealousy among fellow artists, and also the pitfalls of not belonging to the right cliques. Others talked about the fact that limited vision, well, those people can live anywhere, even in big cities. Also, jealousy is universal, and what looks like a clique can often just be artists who are assertive about building relationships. My guest today is an artist who is a native of Louisiana, but has traveled the globe as a dancer, performer, maker, model, educator, and writer. She has worked with Google, the Martha Graham Dance Company as principal dancer, the Metropolitan Opera Ballet, Rio Dance Theater, and many others. As an educator, she has served on the faculty of the Martha Graham Center and also New York's famed school, LaGuardia High. She is currently an official stager, overseeing the direction of Martha Graham's ballets internationally, and a consultant for the New York Department of Education's Professional Development Program for Teachers. And her first book will be published by Bloomsbury Publishing in 2021 on the topic of dance legacy. And y'all believe me when I say I'm only sharing with you a snippet of her biography. Blakeley White-McGuire, welcome to AC23.
Thank you, Zero. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right, y'all. In a spirit of transparency, we started this conversation already, and I screwed up, and we had to start over. So I'm going to try to remember to phrase this question because your answer was so great. What is a dancer in 2020 in this present time?
Yeah, thank you for the question, Zero. It's a really important question for us all to think about because traditionally the role of a dancer, is to hold the ancestral knowledge and pass it through the generations. But these days, there's so many ways to be a dancer. You could be a concert dancer. That's what I am. So I perform live on stage. Or you could be kind of in the commercial industry with concerts, musical concerts, things like that. You could dance on Broadway. You could be a traditional dancer, a folk dancer. Many ways to live as a dancer in the world. And right now in 2020, what I'm seeing is that the role of the dancer is more important than ever. And people are really gravitating towards the arts in general. Yeah. Definitely towards dance because our physicality is so located and it's so kind of squashed. That I see so many people going online looking for classes. Instagram Live, Facebook Live, TikTok has this outrageous scene of dance that has blown up. And it's really given people everywhere a platform to express their love for dance and their dancer selves. So I think in 2020, the idea of what is a dancer is just exploding. And we're going to discover that again.
Well, that's beautiful. As we talked about earlier, I was saying, to give you a little backstory. So since I've been doing the radio show during the pandemic or during the quarantine, I had talked with people from a lot of disciplines, but I went back and I realized I hadn't talked to any dancers. And I was like, oh my God, what are the dancers going through with this isolation, right? Because y'all just can't dance on any floor, right? You need space, you need the right floor, you need a lot of things that, again, like as a writer, I could write anywhere. Quite often I'm sitting on my couch writing. And dancers are just, in my opinion, the workhorses of the arts industry. You guys are just there are no lazy dancers because you're always moving. And I think that bleeds over into other aspects of your lives. I see you've accomplished so much and you're still getting into new things like publishing a book, right?
Yeah.
And so, is that just a part and parcel of being a dancer?
Well, I think it is being a freelancer. Any artist who's a freelancer has to be a hustler. But
Yeah.
dancers are really kind of the labor force of the arts world.
Yeah.
Which is, there's a funny contrast because lots of times you think of dancers as elegant and, regal and living a glamorous life, which many times it is very glamorous. But what is underneath that is, 9 hours a day, barefoot, bleeding feet, skin left on the floor, sweat, really kind of not pretty stuff that it takes to shape your body and to shape your expression and your quality and dynamics. So yeah, I would say that we are the workhorses.
I've seen a dancer like twist her ankle in the middle of a show, and you would never know it. I had to find out from someone after the show. I could tell something was up. I was doing spoken word as part of the show, but to keep a straight face or a smile, I was like, professional athletes on the football field can't do that. With some of those injuries, and so yeah, people don't even see like the work and the dangers involved. I used to date a dancer, so I'm a little closer to the genre than most poets are.
Every poet should date a dancer for sure.
Yeah. I guess what I would like to know also is like, so you left Louisiana. What part of Louisiana are you from?
Yes. Well, I was born in Baton Rouge. And in my childhood, we moved to Prairieville and Gonzales, and then we finally settled in Port Allen, which is where my father is from, in Port Allen.
Wow.
And my family, before that, my grandparents and their family are from Plaquemine on one side. And
I'm from Plaquemine.
You're from Plaquemine?
I'm from Plaquemine.
Get out of here.
Yeah, Seamoville subdivision, yes. Went to Plaquemine High.
You went to Plaquemine High? Oh my God.
When did you make the move? When did you feel like you had to leave, or was it like a feeling or a calling, or did you feel like you had to leave to make it?
Well, I didn't want to leave. I still say that. I still don't want to leave. I did not want to leave Louisiana. I love Louisiana. I love my family. I love my home. I love the culture. I'm always trying to come back. And when I was younger, I always danced. There was always festivals. There were always dance communities. I always found a way to dance. But my mother thought that I had talent, and my dance teachers thought I had talent. And so my mom, when I was 19, brought me to New York. And I guess I did have ambition, but I can't access that thought right now. I was just kind of following where the universe took me.
Yeah.
But looking back now, I know, of course, I did have to leave because, number one, I needed the training.
Yeah.
And dancers need a community. And really for dance, and I think it's true for many art forms, many communal art forms, which dance is, that you have to have a community of people to push you higher and higher in your skill set.
Yeah.
And without government funding for dance companies in Louisiana, it's really hard for dancers to develop their skill set to their ultimate potential.
Yes.
So private donors. So that is why I think it was important as a dancer for me to leave, because there just weren't the opportunities for training and performing that I would have wanted. But if there were, I would have stayed.
I hear that. So how has the pandemic and the subsequent isolation affected you, your family, your community of dancers?
Yeah, well, of course, like everyone, it's affected us a lot. My family is in Louisiana and I'm in New York, two of the big hotspots in the U.S. So that's been really stressful, really anxiety-producing. And I teach dance. I teach at the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater.
Wow.
Yeah. So I teach in my living room every day.
Wow.
And kids are in their living rooms or their bedrooms or wherever they are. But these children, these young artists, have trained to such a level that we just forget about the boundaries of the walls, and I create the most difficult combinations I can and just try to give them really hard things. And they want it. They're just like, give me more. And they make adjustments, they adapt. And
Yeah.
so, because training is the most important thing for a dancer, you have to do your daily training, or else it'll just fall. You'll just be at the couch. You'll be like, all right, well, where's the not going to work. So that has been a big adjustment, but it has been heartening to see the dancers continue. It's not surprising, but and even for myself, when I'm really tired or down, like partnering is one of my favorite things, like to touch another dancer and share weight. So when I'm really down and missing human touch, just to see them on the screen and that they're like, all right, what do you have, Miss McGuire? What do you have for us? It's really hard. So it's been a lot of good discoveries and a lot of challenges.
Wow. And you know, you said it's not surprising, but it is inspiring. I think that to see the way that artists have embraced technology with all the glitches involved, you know, it's really inspiring. And it reminds us that human beings, just as much as we need human connection and human touch and to be in each other's presence, we need art, you know, and it's been one of the things that I think we all have gone back to lean on to get through this. What work have you engaged in during the quarantine? I know you're still teaching, but are you creating any new work?
I am. I work with Blakeley Dance Theater, and actually I just got my contract renewed. And
Awesome. Congrats.
It's amazing, where half of the nation is unemployed. I got a contract to dance. So
there you go.
Insane. So I'm working on a new piece with them. I also work with a company called Movement Migration. And we were slated to come to the Ebb and Flow Festival in Baton Rouge in April. Yeah. And we had a piece that we were going to premiere called Our Only World. And that piece is about cultivating affection in place. So cultivating a love and an affection for the environment that you're in. So we're continuing to work on that with Movement Migration. And we developed a summer dance intensive also online, movementmigration.org.
Movementmigration.org.
Movementmigration.org. I'll be teaching 2 classes for adults, kind of, you know, stretchy, nice, easy, called Joy Flow, which I'll also share in Baton Rouge when we do come to perform. And then
Awesome.
I teach contemporary modern for professionals training.
So movementmigration.org, is this for more advanced dancers, or can beginners log on? Or
beginners can log on. We have all levels of offerings, and it's very affordable, like very affordable, because dancers do not have a lot of extra money, especially if they're unemployed.
I hear that.
So it's for all levels. There's an offering for everyone. We have modern, we have hip hop, we have ballet, we have gyrokinesis, we have Joy Flow, my class. We also have Africanist practices in modern dance.
Wow.
Pounde, who's an amazing teacher. We have heels classes and ballroom classes. I mean, it's like,
That's awesome, man. I last Valentine's Day, I treated my wife, who for years has complained that we go places and I never want to dance. And it's not that I can't dance, which was her assumption. I'm a percussionist. I play and I make other people dance. And that's kind of my relationship to dancing, is that I make the dancing happen. Also, you know, I DJ'd in high school. So for me, it's like, you know, I'm the show. I don't want to, I don't like being a spectator, so to speak. And so last Valentine's Day, I signed us up for ballroom dance lessons. And she found out that I was the best dancer in the couple.
Nice to find out that your husband's a good dancer.
Well, I'm a percussionist, you know, like I'm going to be on beat, even if, you know, no matter what happens, I'm going to be on beat. And so quite often I was stepping on her toes, but only because her toes were not supposed to be where they were at the time when I stepped. And so, you know, that's all that was. But she's a phenomenal dancer as well. And I just I think that in this day and age, not being in this time of quarantine, not being able to move how we want to move is frustrating. And yeah, hopefully we'll be able to start back with our waltz and our cha-cha and all that good stuff. Tell me this though, because like right now, everybody's missing their crawfish balls, right? So like you're up in New York. Like, how do you maintain your relationship to Louisiana culture, especially like missing out on the food?
Whoa. I mean, I've been in New York. I came to New York when I was 19. I'm 47 now. So it's been a long haul. A long haul. But I grew up with my grandmother's cooking and my mother's cooking. So I have all of my recipes. I have all my cooking. So that keeps me close. And the music, of course. And I
Yes.
visit 2 to 3 times a year. All my family is still there.
Awesome.
But a big part of it is sharing my dance with the community there in Louisiana. When I do come home to visit, I always give master classes. I always reach out to the dance community, and I'm in conversation with the dance community there. Basin Arts in Lafayette is amazing. Contemporary Art Center in New Orleans. So those are ways that I keep my connection. I feel like it's time now to do something bigger, and I've been talking with Baton Rouge Arts Council and Renee Chatelain about that, just wanting to create a space for dancers in Louisiana to come together, and let's come together and make something beautiful for the community, really inspiring for the community, and to show that, maybe everybody doesn't have to leave. We can also, take the talent that is here and the people that are cultivating excellence in Louisiana, and let's see what we can all do. But those are the ways that I keep my connection, and literature, and I have pictures, and all of that.
Well, that's and I love New York. I used to have a job in theater instruction that they would fly us up to New York for training every so often. And once I kind of went up there 2 or 3 times and I got hooked, and I was like, oh man, I gotta, at one time I was just going to New York like every 6 months, and I haven't been in so long, and my wife has never been, and so at some point we got to get up there. I love New York so much. It's just, it's between New York and San Francisco. Those are the and like that whole Bay Area. Those are the spots where I just love to hang out. I just love to go. They're, just so arts friendly, and I could just immerse myself. But I would love to create more of that energy here. And I think for every artist who's kind of traveled abroad and we come back home, it's like, what can I do to create this so people would want to come here and experience, I think a part of it is that we have such a rich arts culture.
Yes.
Here, right?
The creativity in Louisiana is just off the charts, and people are bold, and people have confidence in their expression, and they put their stuff out there. But I feel like, we can do more. We can just do more. There's always more to do.
Well, I think in many ways, we haven't found a way to monetize like the live music scene. There's so many amazing musicians in Baton Rouge, but just not a lot of places to play. And everybody's scared now that a lot of our live music venues won't be around when people want to start coming back out to be in a crowd again. And so it's a weird time, but I think, I think every artist wants a part of their legacy to be like, I want to create a greater environment for these young artists coming up behind me, right?
Yeah.
And you're a teacher. So you definitely get that idea of passing it on. So Blakeley, what are your dreams? What's next? What's left?
I think there's a lot left. You reach a certain point and you're like, okay, I've done it. I'm just going to stop. But that lasts about a day. But I have dreams, if I have a dream to be a part of a dance company and theater company that creates consistently, that employs artists, that cultivates an audience in a broader creative community. And I've been a part of those companies my entire career, but I haven't created one. So I'd like to be a part. I'd like to be a team member collaborating on the creation of something like that. That's a dream.
Would that be what you would call your legacy?
Yeah, well,
part of it?
My students are my legacy for sure.
Oh, yeah.
My students are my legacy, and my performances that live in my audience. That's my legacy, but I can add to that legacy, and I think that would be the addition. Yeah.
Well, I hope to see it come to fruition, and if I had to bet money on anybody being able to make that happen, based on your track record, it would definitely be you. I want to thank you so much for being on the show. I've learned so much today, and I'm inspired. I think I'll be a little more ambitious when I wake up tomorrow. And so we'll see. I'm right now, I'm a year from 50. And so if I don't find this energy now, I think it's just all going to be downhill. So I got to get moving.
I'm not accepting it. 50 is the new 20. So come on. Get moving.
Well, Blakeley, thank you so much for being on the show today. Sending my energy up to New York, and let us know when you're coming back down into Baton Rouge. Movementmigration.org. I want everybody to remember, go check that out. And very affordable rates for those of you who want to take classes, and lots of different classes from what I hear. So I'm going to go check it out as well so I can get the word out.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for your spirit.
Yes. Well, thank you so much. I'll talk to you later.